on. I request the participants to make use of this very important program, especially for the students seeking opportunities in abroad. You can aware of more new information. At this juncture, I thank our resource person, Mr. Aldrich Riulraj, for accepting our invitation. I sincerely appreciate convener Dr. Pungudi and other organizing members for conducting this program even in this COVID-19 pandemic period. My warm felicitations and greetings to all the participants. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us your words of wisdom. I know everyone is waiting so eagerly to get to know our resource person and to take his bank of knowledge. But before we could get to that, and we should take a moment to get to know him personally. And so we will. I would like to introduce Dr. P. Sashikala from the Department of English to give a formal introduction to our resource person.
Good morning, everybody. I'm proud to have Mr. Albrecht Royal Raj amidst us today. I deem it my privilege to introduce the eminent speaker on this occasion. At present, he works as a solar and project analyst at Sustainable Capital Finance, California. He has won honors and awards. He has presented about affordable clean energy at United Nations Model Unit Summit 2019 in New York. He has been awarded FAEE 2018 Scholarship for Excellence in Energy Studies, and he has won the Best Paper Award in FAME 2016, a national conference for research project Fuel from Waste. He's a young dynamic personality who immediately gave his consent for this program when I contacted him over phone. I know it for sure that this session would be highly informative and useful for the young generation who aspire to study or seek employment abroad. And I request the audience to make full use of this session. Towards the end of the speaker's presentation, we will have a question answer session where the speaker will answer your queries both in English and in Tamil. So stay focused during the presentation and do not hesitate to clarify your doubts with the speaker. Make this session a really productive one. Thank you. Over to Mr. Aldrich for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. And good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking this time to attend this webinar. And I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the management of Kamraj College for giving me this opportunity to contribute back to the student community. And especially, I would like to thank Dr. Tony Melvin, the director, Dr. Nagarajan, the principal, and the IQAC coordinator, Dr. Pungudi, for this opportunity. And I would also like to extend my thanks to Dr. Shashikala and Mr. Shakti Prem for organizing this webinar and being a huge support in the past few weeks. And let's jump into the presentation. So yeah, so this is the topic that I'll be covering for today. So global education and employment. So based on my experience and additional research, I would be giving you some strategies and suggestions which you could follow in order to obtain your dream career or pursue your higher education abroad. So let's get in and see what's our agenda for today is. So first we will be discussing uh, how we should like research the opportunities for us, which is available in the market today. And what is the model, that is the educational model which we are practicing today, and what is the model that we should be practicing instead. And also I would be giving you an overview about higher education in USA, Canada, Australia, and Europe in specific. And then I will be giving you an overview about the current job market and how the COVID-19 has impacted it, and how you can, what all the forecastings you can expect in the next 3 to 4 months. And then I'm going to give you a concept of professional development cycle and how you can implement it. And then I'm going to introduce, or many of you may already have been using this tool called LinkedIn, which is a social networking platform, which is the most important social networking platform that we should be using at this moment. So after the presentation is done, I expect a very interactive question and answer session where we could have a one-on-one chat at the end. So yeah, researching the opportunities. So this is the first and foremost thing that we should be doing when we step into college, or when we are in second year, or a year before you graduate from your undergraduate degree. So you should understand and forecast the job market when you're actually planning for your career, because the job market is very volatile and it doesn't stay the way it is today. Because today the automobile industry might be booming, or the IT industry might be booming, but it's not going to be the same in the next 3 or 4 years. So you should read articles, see how the job market trend is expected to be, read economic reports. So that's how you understand what the job market is going to be in the next 3 or 4 years. And then you have to identify the skills that are required for the jobs that you want to attain in your life, so that you will know what are the skills you have to obtain. So you can get the skills, get list of skills through the job descriptions, which are already posted on job listing platforms like LinkedIn, Naukri, Jobs India, etc. So there are like many job advertisement platforms which you can refer to in order to list down the job descriptions. And then you need to like mold your degree in such a way that it aligns with your career ambition, because you need the skills in order to meet your dream career, right? So you need to mold your degree accordingly so that you can eventually land in your dream career. And then this is with regards to people who want to pursue their higher education in abroad. So I would tell you one thing: if you're in the idea of doing a higher education abroad, whatever country it may be, you should also be ready to work there for a while, because that is when you get the return on investment. So you should know about the different work visa policies in different countries, because that impacts the way you that impacts your job search once you graduate with your master's program in abroad. So make sure to do your research on that also. So these are some of the popular online resources that you can get in order to do the research, which I mentioned earlier. So LinkedIn is a very, very useful tool. This is the most important and the must-use tool we should have in our smartphones and in our desktop these days. So you can find all the jobs that are available in the market, and you can see what skills each job require. I'm going to show you at the end how to use LinkedIn effectively, and where you can look for the skills that the companies are looking for. And then Kaplan, International Pathways, QS Top Universities, and Times Higher Education are very good resources. And they are very factual resources for you to refer to in order to understand what are the requirements for you in order to pursue your higher education abroad. So this is a model. This is the model which we have been focusing on. I mean, which we have been practicing, unfortunately. And a recent statistic says that almost 80% of the students in India who graduate with their undergraduate degree lack in practical skills, and also the interpersonal skills that they require in a job environment. So what we do is we graduate from high school and then we take up a arts or science degree, and then or we go for the engineering or medicine. This is kind of like the standard. And then we enter job market as freshers, like with zero to nothing experience. So this is not right. So this is a model which I am suggesting, and some of you all may already be following this, but this is a very good model to follow. Even um, even colleges can start implementing these type of models so that their students enter the job market with more than 3 or 4 years of experience simultaneously. So this is the model which I'm suggesting, is that once you graduate from high school, you take up internships and research opportunities even before you join college. So based on your career interest or based on your college degree that you're going to attain, try to work with professors, research professors, or try to work in companies where you are either doing the basic work like entering the list of customers, or the um, list of uh, sale documents and all that. So even if it's a basic work, start doing that. End of your degree program, you will be entering the job market with 3 to 4 years of work experience. So this is a list of top 10 skills which is like most in demand. I found it online. So this is a factual data. So these are the skills that the companies look for when you go out into the job market and look for a full-time job. So when you start doing internships when you're in college, and when you start leading student organizations within your college and participate in co-curricular activities along with technical workshops, that is when you attain all these skills. For instance, the communication, you get more organized, and your organization skills improve when you start hosting events, and your teamwork skill improves when you host events together. And this is all important factors which define your career as you start working in your professional life. And this is an important thing that I want to highlight. You should be joining many organizations and student chapters, as many as you can. So I was part of the Association of Energy Engineers because I was more focused into renewable energy and infrastructure development, green buildings. So based on my interest, I chose an Association of Energy Engineers and Project Management Institute. So similarly, like you, based on your career goals and based on what kind of job you want to do, I advise everyone to join that particular professional organization. For instance, if you are interested in business, then I would recommend you to join the Association of Business Professionals. If you are interested in more of physics or biology, I would encourage you to join the Biology Society of India, or there are like many organizations like that. So one more important organization which any of us can join is the Toastmasters International Organization, which helps you to helps you to build confidence and speak in public openings with less fear. So try to be a part of all these very eminent organizations, because through these organizations you also make a lot of industry contacts, and these industry contacts will be helpful throughout your professional life. So from my personal experience, the Association of Energy Engineers student chapter was co-founded by me and my friends back in my university. So we, through this particular association, we made a lot of industry contacts, and fortunately, like I was able to win some project bids for my company. And trust me, when you win project bids for your company, that looks very good on your performance appraisal. And through this organization, me and my friends, we also hosted career events and webinars and many more, where we interacted with students, where we interacted with employers. So this gave us the confidence to talk to anyone in that matter. So we had to market for our events. So we got the marketing skills, we got the interpersonal skills that we required. So I would definitely encourage you all to start a chapter in your college, or you can be a part of global chapter or a chapter within the nation. So I would definitely encourage you all to do that. So now let's step into speaking about the higher education abroad programs. So first, I would like to discuss about USA because personally, I studied in the US, and I also believe that their programs and their universities are world class, and they have like very reputed programs, and their educational structure is very practical, wherein like you work on 2 to 3 projects each semester, which is very intense, but it is really worth it because you gain so much of practical exposure which you don't get anywhere else. So that is very good about studying abroad. And also once you study in USA, you have the you have 3 years of work permit, so you can eventually start working there. And the work experience that you get in USA is also world class. So if you're studying, if you're willing to study in USA, that is I would definitely say it's a thumbs up from my side. Studying abroad also studying abroad also gives you the opportunity to know about the various businesses and the various industries that are started and implemented in their country. So what you can do is you can grab those business ideas, grab those industry values and technologies, and implement it back in your own country. You can start your own business and be an entrepreneur yourself. So that is another advantage of doing higher studies in USA, because as you know, like India is a developing country, and when you go and study in a developed nation, there's a lot more advancements than you would imagine. So you would get many ideas about starting the same thing or doing some improvements to their technology and bringing it back to our own country. So these are some of the popular courses identified in or what international students or Indian students choose to pursue in the USA. So mainly information systems, telecommunication engineering, data science is very popular these days with all the artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. Data science is very popular. So an MBA, financial engineering program, system engineering, biology, biomedical, all these programs have a lot of value because these programs are the ones the industries are constantly hiring these days. So have a look for these particular courses in specific. And these courses are, the courses in USA are 1 to 3 years long with project or thesis work. Thesis is where you submit a research report at the end of your degree program. And make sure to choose your degree, your master's degree, because carefully, because some of the programs which are 1 year or less than 1 year programs are not valid back in India. So make sure you choose a reputed university and make sure that the program is also recognized in India if it is less than 1 year duration. So these are the requirements for us in order to apply for universities in USA. So you require the GRE exam if you're applying for a science or technology or engineering or mathematics oriented program, then you would need this GRE exam. And then if you're applying for MBA programs, then you would need the GMAT exam, which is a very common exam for all MBA schools, be it in India or abroad. So GMAT is a very good program if you're aiming to do MBA as your master's. And then TOEFL is accepted almost throughout in every university in USA. And IELTS is another exam. So the TOEFL and the IELTS exam are meant for assessing your English language capabilities. So you should always aim for a score of 95 plus in TOEFL and a score of 7 plus in IELTS. And with regards to your undergrad, always try not to have backlogs and try to have a minimum of at least 65 to 70% in your undergraduate degree, and try to take up some research work with your professor so that when they write recommendation letters for you, it will be very, very good on your profile when it reaches the university. And the statement of purpose is a very important essay which you submit to the university that you're applying for. So the statement of purpose highlights what is your goal in life and what type of career you want to do and how you're going to contribute back to the industry and the society, and many more things about your previous experience and what you're expecting out of this degree program. So the fees to study in USA could range somewhere from 25 to 60 lakhs. That is the total tuition fee. So the 25 to 60 lakhs, the variation is because the public universities which are run by the government is cheaper than the universities which are run by private organizations. So that's the variation. And typically MBA programs are more expensive than the other regular programs. So the job and visa environment in USA is pretty complicated at this moment, because 3 months back the US market was very stable, and there were like a lot of jobs in IT, telecom, and data science, and almost every industry in US was hiring international students, was hiring new graduates. But recently, due to the COVID impact, there's a drop in the US workforce market. There's a lot of employment opportunities which have been restricted from students, and then also there's a new visa restriction for international students, which the government recently legislated. So there are some tension going on in the Indian job environment, but still it is all temporary. So you should be able to get a good picture or good idea after December 2020. So keep this in mind for now. So the STEM degree, that is, if you pursue a degree in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, then that gives you 3 years of work permit along with your student visa. And if you do a MBA or a non-STEM program, then you get only 1 year, 1 year of work permit along with your student visa. So now I'm going to give you an alternative. So this is the country which I would suggest all of us to focus on right now. If you want to work or study abroad, then Canada is the right option. It's a very good alternative for USA because Canadian universities are world class again. They are very reputed, and you get the same opportunity as in to work with professors and also do your internships simultaneously when you're working with, when you're studying your master's program. And also similarly, you can understand, they are also a developed country, so you can understand their business, how they are functioning, and implement it back in your home country when you're strong enough. So these are the popular courses people choose in Canada. So computer science, again, telecommunication, data science, fine arts, business programs, civil engineering, engineering management. So keep an eye for these programs specifically. And then courses are again 1 to 3 years long with project option or thesis if you're doing a research project. And they have a very low population, so there is a lot of opportunity for jobs. The job market is booming there, so and also the government is favoring immigrants. So which is why Canada is a very good alternative for USA. So similar to USA, like you have the GRE exam, which is a technical exam requirement. And then you have the GMAT program, again, similar to US. And the TOEFL exam is not valid in all the universities, but some universities accept TOEFL, but majority of them or all of them accept the IELTS exam. So make sure that your IELTS score is good and your GMAT or GRE score is good. And similar to US, your undergrad should be good, and the statement of purpose essay which you write should highlight everything in detail and mention all your experiences and your ambitions in life. So the fees is typically lower in Canada, where it could range from 10 to 25 at the max. So it's pretty cheap to do in Canada, and it's really good. You can also start working there. Their work experience you get in Canada is also very valuable back in India. So these are the top positions or the positions which are in higher demand. So nursing, mining and petroleum, engineering management, and other computer science related positions. So these are like high in demand. So upon so when you graduate with your master's program, you get equal number of years to work in Canada. So if your master's program is 2 years, then you get another additional 2 years to work in Canada. And also a good thing about studying in Canada is that they give you a special recognition for applying for PR visa, the permanent residency visa. So when you complete your studies and then you complete your work permit visa days, then you can still apply for Canada PR, and you can obtain it easily compared to the others. And then another special or nice thing about working in Canada or studying in Canada or obtaining a PR in Canada is that once you obtain PR in Canada, you can also sponsor PR for your parents, which is an amazing thing, and you cannot do in which you cannot do in USA or in UK for that matter. So next is higher education in Australia. So Australia is mainly popular for accountancy, architecture, biomedical, earth science, and all these environment-oriented programs. And their programs are also very structured and very practical in nature, and it is equally as good as studying in USA. But you have to make sure that whichever country you're choosing has the demand for the particular job that you are looking for. So make sure you do that research before you choose which country you want to pursue your higher education in. So similar to other countries, they also have their own requirements. So GRE is required, and then the GMAT program is required. And in Australia, they don't accept TOEFL. So the TOEFL exam is not valid in Australia, but in IELTS, you have to score a point of like 7+ in IELTS. And then similarly, undergrad and statement of purpose should be excellent. And the fee structure is pretty similar to Canada, wherein we should expect to pay somewhere around 10 to 25 lakhs as a tuition fee. So next is higher education in Europe in general. So there are like many countries in Europe, and all of them offer different higher education programs. But these are the countries that you should be focusing on, because these are the countries which have a job market and which have a thriving job market, and and the degree programs that you study there are recognized back in India and throughout the globe. So UK has very good MBA programs. They have like the best MBA universities throughout the globe. And Germany is very well known for mechatronics and automobile industry. So if you're looking to like work in automobile or mechatronics, then Germany is a very good option. And one more thing you should keep in mind is that some of the countries also require you to know their local language. For instance, Germany may require you to understand or speak German language or study German language, and in France they might want to like learn French. And even in Canada, their second language is French. Second official language is French. So if you know French already, that is a very big advantage for you. And Netherlands has very good technology courses with regards to aerospace research, aeronautical engineering. They have like very good programs in Netherlands. So similarly, they have the same requirements as I mentioned before. So fee structure varies from somewhere between 5 to 35 lakhs in tuition. The higher end is for programs or higher education in UK. UK is comparatively expensive. UK, Netherlands is comparatively expensive than Germany, France, or Ireland. So these are some countries which offer you very good education for a very less cost. So make sure to do the trade-off analysis and do your research on that to see which country supports the industry that you want to work in, and which meets your needs highly specific. And so the work visas the work visa in UK is as strict as US. It's kind of stringent, but the other countries, they are welcoming immigrants. So this is an overview about the Indian job market right now. So 3 months or 4 months ago, like we had a stable market, if not for a declining economy. So as due to the COVID-19 impact, like only 5% of the Indian companies are going to hire in the next 3 months, and the mining, construction, finance, and insurance, real estate. These are some of the industries which we can expect in India to drive the market in the next 3 months. People who are graduating right now, try to like focus on these industries. For instance, the construction, real estate industry, they are expected to start functioning, start reopening in the next 3 months. So they should also be start hiring for freshers during these months. So as we all know, like the 2008 recession, it gave birth to like many entrepreneurs, many small companies came up. So similarly, this economic impact is going to give rise to many small businesses who want to like stand on their own um, in the near future. And IT, business management, finance, marketing will be all pretty much always open, because these are core departments for a function to for a company to function on a regular basis. So these specific positions will open attractive jobs in like the next 3 to 4 months. So career pathways. So next is next we are going to see what are the different jobs that you can expect once you graduate. I mean, there are many jobs that you can start focusing on. So since I am from the solar industry and the green building industry, I'm more focused on infrastructure development. So so when I say solar and green building, you may think it's a industry for engineers only, or people who are like very technical, but that's not the case. Like in order for us to complete a solar project and put it into service, or construct a building which is fully energy efficient, we need a lot of documentation, we need a lot of policy research, a lot of project management, and for our company to prosper and thrive, we need a lot of marketing going in. So there's a lot of jobs that there's a lot of positions which we hire for, which are not engineering positions. So I'm going to give you a list of positions that the solar industry recruits, uh, which are not engineering positions. So so let's start with a degree in English. So project development means like wherein you start with the design process and you end with the construction closing process. So in between, like you have a lot of research work to be done, and a lot of documents need to be created, and a lot of agreements need to be signed, and it has to be documented in the right way. So people who have this English knowledge can help with research analyzing. They can analyzing the market trends, creating documents for our power purchase agreements, creating documents for our EPC contractors and all that. So they can create project checklist, etc. There are like numerous documents that you can name, which a degree in English can be highly qualified for. And then a degree in psychology can get you into HR management or HR analytics or people management, etc. So these roles are very much important for a company to thrive, right? So again, a degree in psychology, a person with a degree in psychology can also apply for a job in a solar company or in the solar industry. A degree in finance, accounting, and business programs, they are the core of project development. So you need like proper financial modeling skills. You need you need an operations analyst, you need a business analyst, you need logistics, procurement analyst. So all this is important for the project to be developed. So you need to efficiently price the project. You should know to understand what the project's investment return is going to be, what is the project's present value is. So all this analysis can be done by a person with a knowledge of finance, accounting, and business. So and people with biology, zoology, and environmental science, they can assist with doing environmental site analysis, wherein before a solar project is being laid out flat on a ground, they go in and check whether the solar project is going to impact the environment in any way, whether there are many trees that need to be removed, or whether the project is going to be in a wetland. Wetlands are very good for our natural habitats. So usually solar projects should not be constructed on a wetland. So all these environmental assessments can be done by a person with a biology or a zoology degree. So, and then there's the mathematics and economics degree person. As you know, like utility scale projects, they sell electricity on a daily basis to the power market. So we need people who can understand the economics of power, of the power market. People should be well advanced in doing trading on a daily basis. They should understand the cost factor and the policy, the economics behind energy trading. So a person with a mathematics, statistics, and economics background would be a very good addition for these roles, these positions. And along your career pathway, you would need to equip yourself every day, right? So I did my master's in energy systems engineering, which is a very technical program, but I knew that I wanted to do a lot of development work than doing a lot of design. So initially I was doing 6 months of design engineering, and then I wanted to do a lot more in finance and project management, which is when I got the opportunity to do these certifications. So I took up the financial modeling and valuation certification by Corporate Finance Institute. Then I did the CFA Institute's investment foundation certification, so that I understood the concepts of finance and how those concepts can help me to determine the feasibility, that is the cost feasibility of a project. So I had a good understanding both on the engineering and the finance side. So I did this so that it helped me in my career to progress further and develop myself one step ahead. And these are some of the most important core tools which I suggest every one of you to know before you graduate. So this pandemic, many of you may think it as a burden time. It is obviously, but you could also make use of the time that you get. This lockdown period, when we cannot go outside, when we are least distracted, we could take up courses and master these softwares, because every company uses these softwares on a daily basis. And the more softwares you know, the more skilled you are considered to be by an employer, and the more skilled you are considered to be, the more salary that you get at the end of the day. So MS Word is very good for people who is going to create documents, write reports for the company, and PowerPoint is very helpful for people who are going to sell their company's product or present an idea to the management. So the MS PowerPoint is a very good and a very valuable application that you should know. MS Excel, people in finance, accounting, you should be like masters of Excel. You should know all the shortcuts, all the statistics functions in Excel, and doing VBA coding and macros. Macros functioning is a very important skill set which a lot of employers look out for in USA. And MS Access is a database management tool wherein you can store all the data which you model, or all the raw data which you want to model in Excel. You can store them in MS Access. So I would recommend you to like at least master like these 4 tools before you graduate, and mentioning that on your resume will be very valuable when you when you go for an interview or when you apply for jobs. And then Microsoft's Dynamics CRM is a very good software for people who are interested in going for marketing or sales, sales side of the industry. Um, wherein, so what Microsoft Dynamics does is that it tracks your lead, that is from contacting the customer until the project is executed or delivered to them. So you have a complete layout or a complete timeline of how the project flows for different phases. So it's very nice and an important software to know, the Microsoft Dynamics. And Power BI is a recent tool which came out, but it's a very powerful tool, because the Power BI, using Power BI, you can model raw data in a very effective manner than Excel. You can build dashboards. You can make you can create interactive dashboards, which is a very valuable thing for investors or management to take strategic decisions in the current trend. And MS Project is a very important project management software which many companies use. So as you gain experience, you can eventually learn MS Project. But then it's very nice to know at this moment itself, before you graduate, if you could pick up on MS Project, that will be a very good skill for you, because a lot of people, lot of companies, they do build their schedules, build their cost reports, and build their uh, resource planning on MS Project. So it is very important and very effective if you could learn MS Project too. So this is the concept which I wanted to talk to you all about, the professional development cycle. What this means is that so once you step into your career, that is your first job, you shouldn't think that, okay, like I'm in a good state now, so I can pause for a while and take a deep breath. That shouldn't be the case. So once you step in, you should try to understand from your peers what is expected of you and what are the different skills that you can improve on, what will get you to a managerial position, what will get you to lead teams. So understand that and start learning. Use the right resources to learn and obtain those skills. And once you learn all those skills, implement that in your daily professional life so that your boss sees it and appreciates you. And then you can go back and assess, identify what you could have done better, and what if you did something wrong, why it went wrong. So assess what can be done, and then again structure your learning activity. So this is a cyclic process. You need to follow this professional development cycle until you retire from your professional career. So these are some of the learning sources that I have been using, and I have felt it very effective. So I would also recommend you guys to like use these resources to gain all the skills that we have been missing, and which will be definitely helpful in our career, be it right now or after 3-4 years. So Udemy has very good database of courses. So you can based on if you type your skill set, you would get a list of recommendations or the courses online. And LinkedIn Learning similarly has many courses. Coursera has some free courses. edX also has some free courses. So you could choose the best course which closely aligns to your career and closely aligns to you excelling in the industry. And I want to also introduce you to the MOOCs program. I was introduced to these MOOCs program after I started studying in USA. I didn't know about this before. So I think this will be a very good resource for you. The MOOCs is a massive open online courses. So these courses are free, and these courses are given by the top universities in USA, UK, and the other European countries. So search for the university first, and then search if they have a MOOCs program. For instance, I would search solar technology MOOCs. So that's how I do my search. So you can do the same. Finance for MOOCs program for finance, or MOOCs program for accountancy, MOOCs program for commerce. So you can type that, and you would get the list of like the best universities which are offering free courses. And it's also taught by world-class professors. So definitely make use of those courses online. So LinkedIn, why is it a powerful tool? LinkedIn is very powerful because it is what the recruiters are using. So recruiters are using LinkedIn as a way to connect with their employees before they even reach out to you for an interview. So they go and take a look at your profile before they come and contact you for an interview or an initial call. So, and it is also very important for you to keep yourself updated within the industry that you're working, or within the industry that you want to excel in. So these are the four primary functions of LinkedIn. So first, you can showcase your skills. You can you can highlight things on your profile, like your education, your certifications, the awards you have won, the skills that you have attained throughout your undergraduate and your master's degree. And then you can connect with industry experts, talk to people who are more senior than you, understand what the industry is wanting from you, what they're expecting. And the mentorship program is really good on LinkedIn. I made a lot of mentors through LinkedIn, and they were very helpful in my career. And you can also contact recruiters, and if you find a job online, see if it was posted by a recruiter, and try to email them or try to message them, saying that you're interested in the position that they have posted online, and tell why you are interested, tell why you are a better candidate than the rest, and show interest that you want to get on a call with them and talk more in detail about my experience and my qualifications, and why I'm the best candidate. So make sure you prove that to your recruiter in the first message that you send them. And yeah, as you know, like it is essential to attain your dream career, and LinkedIn helps in doing that. So it also gives you what the requirements are for the job, and it also helps you to know where you stand compared with other applicants. And also it gives you like industry updates. So I have set my profile in such a way that I get updates about the renewable industry, the infrastructure development, or solar industry. So you can set up your LinkedIn profile in such a way that you get updates about your favorite industry, be it information technology, or be it biology or biomedical, whatever your field of interest is. You can set your LinkedIn profile to show up in that way. So I will take you a quick walkthrough through my LinkedIn profile, just to show you guys how you can use LinkedIn in an effective way. So as you can see, this is my news feed, my homepage news feed. So if you see, I am following this page called, this hashtag called renewable energy. So anyone who posts and updates about renewable energy, I would get it here. So all the projects that are being introduced, all the new regulations which are coming into the renewable energy industry world would be updated here. And then we have the My Network. My Network is where you can like connect with people of your similar likings, people. So I also get notifications. See, like based on my career interest, they say Sun Power Corporation is hiring. So you get yourself updated. Who is hiring? Who is not hiring? Who are the? So it gives you suggestions based on who are working in the industry similar to you. And then you have the jobs section, wherein you can go and look for your dream career. Type in the position that you want to work as. For example, financial analyst or finance associate. When you type it, it's going to give you a list of jobs. And when you open a particular job, it would take you to a requirements page where you would see the different skills that they require. So this is the recruiter who has posted it. So if I click on this person's profile, I will be able to send him an email or send him a message or send him a connection request. And if he accepts, then your message will be delivered. So, and here what you can see is the skills and qualifications this particular job needs. So you should have a bachelor's degree in business, finance, computer science, whatever. And then the other experience that you should have in a previous role. And as I mentioned before, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, MS Project, these are some of the key softwares which you should know. So that is what they highlight in this particular section of LinkedIn. So it is very effective in order to understand what a particular job requires. So you could do the research there, and then you have the messaging tab where you can message your connections, and then you have the notification tab where you can check your notifications about any recent updates in the industry. You can set LinkedIn alerts for particular news. For instance, I have set alerts about new regulations and policies related to solar industry. I've set alerts similar to that. So you can set your own alerts. And another important thing that I would like to discuss is about setting up your profile on LinkedIn. So this is your profile section where you update about yourself. So first you have to mention what role you're working on, and then you have to highlight what are the keywords for your industry. So mine is renewable energy development. I do financial modeling and project management. So these are the skills that I use in my everyday professional life. So you also have to mention that. And then in case if you're a fresher and you haven't started your first career yet, or your first job yet, then you should highlight your research experience or your project work, or the field that you're interested in. For instance, if you're in accounting, you can say you're pursuing your certification, your CMA certification or your CA certification. Or if you're a finance, you can say I'm pursuing my CFA certification. So you could do that here. And then you can mention where you have worked, where you're working currently, where you worked in the past, and where you studied, where you did your undergraduate, where you did your master's program, and what are the different certifications that you hold, and what are the different skills that you have gained so far, and what are the different accomplishments that you have done, what are the certification courses or online courses that you have completed, honors and awards that you have got, and the different projects that you have completed, and common exams that you have taken. So the LinkedIn profile is a very it's like a marketing website for yourself, where you go in and market yourself to the recruiter. So I would advise you guys to start building your LinkedIn profile and make it as attractive as possible. Yeah, that is the first step I would do towards getting into my first job. So with that, I would like to conclude my talk. We can have a interactive question session if anyone has any questions. If not, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. We can talk. If you want any guidance on doing higher education abroad, any specific questions that you may have when you're doing your application, I would be more than happy to help you with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aldrich, for giving us such a brainstorming session. I think we have learned a lot from this, and the protocols, the procedures, and there's so many tiny little things that were so important were elucidated so perfectly and easily comprehensible by you. And to all the participants from Zoom, as well as our viewers in YouTube, we all have a fascination, a dream to go abroad, to visit Europe, France, Italy, or the United States. And I think if you have came here because you do share this fascination and dream. And Mr. Aldrich has agreed to have an extended conversation with each and every one of you. So I should deem the participants from Zoom. These people are very lucky because each and every one of you have the ample opportunity to talk to Mr. Aldrich regarding your doubts and queries. And he is very patient enough to give you all the answers that you need. And now The question and answer session will be chaired by Dr. P. Sashikala, and those who would like to get into this Q&A session, please raise your hand and you will be connected.
Thank you, Aldrich. It was
Thanks.
very informative. I think all the participants would have benefited out of this minute details you had covered with. And the first participant from Zoom would be Mr. Kader Basha. Mr. Kader Basha, you could unmute yourself. Yeah, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected speaker, sir.
Hi, Mr. Kader. How are you?
I am postgraduate English student from Jamal Muhammad College. My question is, what are the scarcity to get job in abroad for Indian employees?
So as I mentioned, in USA, the job market is pretty restricted right now for people who are trying to travel from abroad. So I would advise you to look into Canada, because Canada is welcoming immigrants and there are many job opportunities in Canada. So what you can do is, if you don't want to do your higher education first, but rather look for a job opportunity abroad, so I would advise you to start applying for jobs in Canada, and then with the offer of employment, you can apply for your permanent residency, or the company itself will apply for your work permit in Canada. So Canada is a very good option for you, and there are many jobs as per my knowledge. Similarly, you could look into, as I mentioned earlier, you could look into jobs wherein you do a lot of content writing or doing like market research. I would also advise you to highlight in your profile that you are well versed in technical writing. You are well versed in doing analytical modeling using Excel and computing reports. Basically, companies, they want reports in order to communicate it to their clients, or publish it on their website. So make sure you highlight all those skills when you apply to such roles.
And my second question is, sir, language scarcity we have no, sir. Place to place language should be differ. Then how will tackle the language scarcity, sir?
So in Canada, so since I am suggesting that you try to apply only in Canada. Canada has like two official languages. One is English and French. Since like you're already familiar and comfortable with English, you just have to take a exam, which I mentioned earlier, the IELTS exam, to prove that you can communicate with the employers in English, because English is a global language, which is why our medium of education has been in English in India. So since English is a global language, I don't think so there will be a problem in communicating with employers. Maybe in the locality where you're living, you might have some problem communicating in other countries. I mean, you will have maybe in Spain, or if you go to Czech Republic, you might have some communication lag with the local citizens. But then if you are working in a professional environment in a company, everyone there will definitely speak English. So if you are confident with English, then it should not be a problem.
Thank you, sir. What are the problems you faced before you enter abroad, sir?
Excuse me.
Before I entered abroad, the first problem was the visa. because it's because there are like a lot of visa restrictions in USA, and you need to show a lot of your financial status, and so basically you don't know what the interviewer in the embassy is going to ask you, whether they are going to ask you for your financial documents or whether they are just going to review your profile in a high level. So yeah, that was a sketch there. And also culturally it's a different country, so uh, there's a lot of things we won't know before we actually move into a country. So the visa process was the only issue before moving abroad. So after moving to the US, or starting my education here, there were like more challenges after I stepped into US.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sure, my pleasure.
Aldrich, it was really informative, and you have been so patient in grasping the question and giving an answer. I request the audience to prioritize your question and just post one question, because there are so many participants who are waiting. So let's see to it that you choose your most important question and let that question be posted to the resource person. Right? May I request Ms. Aruna Dev Roy? Ms. Aruna Dev Roy, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
And you could speak. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Ms. Aruna.
Yeah. So my question is that in case of post PhD in management and commerce, which place will be the best one?
So post PhD, are you asking in terms of career, or I mean as job, or you want to do post PG in
post PhD for pursuing
so post PhD you want to pursue as an education?
Yes.
Okay, in management, right? So if it is in management, I would definitely advise you to look into universities in UK, because their programs are like top class MBA programs. And also if you want to like work abroad, and if you want to settle abroad, then my suggestion would be to go for Canada. The similar reasons as I mentioned before. Canada has some leniency in the work permit process for immigrants. So similar reasons. And also, do you know like when you are planning to pursue your higher education? Do you have a timeline?
I'm in the verge of completion of my PhD. This year I'll be submitting my thesis. So maybe by next year or so I want to.
Because the reason why I asked that question is USA recognizes people with a PhD and post-PhD programs, because they go into a separate cadre of work visa permits. So it's easier for them to eventually apply for green cards or get their permanent residency in US. So I would definitely advise you to if you're willing to like wait until December, then you can see if the rules in USA is going to change with regards to the work permit crisis that is going on here. So you could wait and do some research on that. And if US is not going to work it out with regards to the work permit rules that they recently framed, then I would definitely advise you to take up either a program in Canada or UK.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Aldrich.
Sure.
Now we have a question from a YouTube viewer. The question is, are there any teaching opportunities abroad without IELTS or TOEFL? If so, how can we apply?
How can we?
So the IELTS exam and the TOEFL exam is a mandatory exam in order to assess your English skills. So Canada is the only country which actually recruits people outside of their country and then brings them in. Other than that, if you are looking to work in other bigger countries such as USA or UK or Germany, France, you need to go through this process of education first, and then getting your job there. So you need to like do your MS and then eventually do your PhD, and that is how people have taken up research positions and eventually started taking up teaching roles abroad. And for everything, like when you apply for a visa for another country, they would definitely check your eligibility to see if you can communicate effectively, which is why they require the IELTS and the TOEFL exam. So that is a very important exam that you should consider if you are planning to go abroad. And also with regards to Canada, if you're going to apply for the PR visa, then you should take the IELTS general. And if you're going to apply for a education program, education visa, then you should take up the IELTS education version of it. So make sure you see the difference and apply for the right exam based on the visa that you are opting for.
Thank you, Aldrich.
Sure.
May I now request Mr. Pankaj Mishra to unmute himself and ask his question. Mr. Pankaj Mishra.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Mr. Pankaj.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Sorry, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
sir. Sorry, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, how,
Morning,
sir, how can a student or aspirant apply for a visa to go for higher studies and for higher education?
So the first process is that you should apply to the university that you're looking for. And once you get the admission offer letter from the university, then you should file an application with the local embassy. For instance, so if you're from Chennai, there is a US embassy there. So, and they have their own online portal. So you need to go into their online portal and start filing an application. And for every visa that you apply for, you need to pay a fee for that. So you have to do the payment online and make sure you have submitted all the documents that they have asked for. So you should make sure that the document checklist is all good. And once that all that has been done, then they will schedule an interview for you. You can schedule an interview to go in person so that they can verify that you're a real person and all the documents are good. And then they will also ask you questions: why you're going, what is the reason, why are you leaving your own country and going somewhere else. So there are like many questions they ask during the visa process. And they will also ask you how you're going to fund your studies and whether you will come back to your country after you study. So they will ask all these questions, and you should be able to answer them easily. So that is the visa process. That is how the visa process works.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Aldrich.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
The next question is, do the courses via Coursera have value when we go for a job? This is from a YouTube viewer.
Yeah, definitely. So you don't have to take your certificates with you all these certifications are mainly for you to highlight your skills on LinkedIn. So once you do a certification and upload it on LinkedIn, what happens is that a particular skill gets added onto your skill sets, and when a recruiter looks at your profile, they see the skill mentioned on your profile, and they are kind of impressed about it. So doing courses on Coursera is really helpful, and since it's free of cost, and since you can apply for a scholarship and get the course for free of cost, it is very helpful to do it. And also, I would also suggest you people to choose your courses accordingly, so that you get enough practical experience along with it. Because I've done some courses where they just teach the theoretical part again. So you can put it on your LinkedIn, but eventually you cannot show it as an experience, or you cannot go in and perform it as a job, perform it as a task when you're working in your career. So what I would suggest is take up courses where you get the hands-on skills. For instance, I chose to do a MS Excel modeling course, wherein they taught all the formulas, the statistics formulas, the financial modeling applications, the pivot charts, pivot tables. So you should be able to explain to the recruiter when they ask you questions regarding the software or regarding the particular application. For instance, if they ask you to explain about game theory, you should be able to explain it in a sense wherein you should prove the recruiter that you can work it out as a model in Excel, or work it out as a model in Python, MATLAB, whatever the application is. At the end, a company is going to use a software to get all this job done. They don't want you to do manual calculation in paper or manual calculation anywhere else. They expect software experience. So I would encourage you to choose courses accordingly and master it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Prem Verma. Mr. Prem Verma.
Hello.
Yeah, you can ask your question now to Mr. Aldrich.
Namaskar, everyone. My question is, what are the opportunity for teacher educators in abroad, like in B.Ed colleges, M.Ed colleges, in education field?
Again, I would say the same thing. If for teaching roles, you can definitely look into Canadian universities or Canadian colleges for openings and try applying to them. But again, they would prefer people who already have an idea about their education system, their educational syllabus. So the right way to track down that particular type of career is that you do a small, like a 1-year degree, and then start doing a research or like an internship kind of thing with a professor there in the university, and then you can work with them, and then eventually you could apply to jobs which arises in their universities.
Thank you, Aldrich. There's a question from Madhavi through YouTube. I've completed my MLISC. Do I get a job abroad? Do I have a chance of getting a job abroad?
As I mentioned previously, it is not easy to get a job from India directly in any abroad country. Since like you are highly qualified, they would consider you as a valuable asset, but they would also deem you to be overqualified sometimes. So my conclusion is that if you're like looking to start working in one of these top countries directly without an education, then I would definitely say look into Canada as the option for you guys, because Canada is welcoming immigrants. That is the main point that I'm trying to emphasize. So yeah, definitely look into Canada. And since I like introduced the job search tool on LinkedIn, I would advise you to like go in and specify the type of job you're looking for and search it with the location as Canada. So once you get a job list, um, try to speak with the recruiters, because many people will apply from foreign countries, from India or from Russia or from China, whatever it may be. There are like many people who want to go abroad or want to, but you should be excelling them, right? So you should make a mark to the recruiter that you are more passionate about them. So I would do that if you were looking to directly go for a job abroad. So Canada would be the better option here, other than other countries, because it's very competitive already in US, UK, and other European countries.
Thank you. Miss Jesslyn. Miss Jesslyn.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, you could ask your question to Mr. Aldrich.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Ms. Jesslyn.
Sir, I'm a B.Ed student and I wanted to do my higher studies in education, special education for special students.
Mm-hmm.
Whether any foreign countries is offering the special education or a job in the schools, do they have any schools for special students?
Yeah. So based on my experience, I mean, in USA, so I would definitely say there are like many non-profits and many churches and many student welfare organizations in USA who are working towards that. So definitely a master's program in education, and specifically targeting such children, that would be of high value. And also like you would eventually like be working for a non-profit. So it is also easier for you to like apply for work visa and all that. So I would definitely encourage you to apply. And but also a heads up that I want to give you is that there's a lot of competition for such roles from the local citizens itself, because most of them, they take up such programs um, because that is something that they are very good at. So you would have a lot of competition. So but it doesn't matter, you can definitely excel, and there are like a lot of opportunities similar to that. And definitely Canada is also a very good alternative in case if USA seems unattainable due to the visa restrictions. If USA is not a viable option, then you can definitely look into Canada. And if
Thank you.
if you want to do your masters and then start working, that is a very good option, I would say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a kind of an information to the audience. இங்கிலீஷ்ல கேட்டவங்க தான் மட்டும்தான் அமெரிக்கா போக முடியும், வெளிநாடு போக முடியுங்கிறது கிடையாது. ஆல்ரிச் வந்து நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டுக்காரர் இன்னைக்கு யூஎஸ்ல இருக்காரு. ஸோ ஜூம்ல இருக்கிற யாராவது அவர்கிட்ட தமிழ்ல கேள்வி கேட்டீங்கன்னா கூட அவர் தமிழ்ல இப்போ உங்களுக்கு எல்லா பேசிக்கான ஒரு விஷயத்த கூட ஹீ கேன் எக்ஸ்பிளைன். அதனால தமிழ்ல கேள்வி கேட்கறதுக்கு யாராவது முன் வரீங்கன்னா கூட தயங்காதீங்க. தமிழ்ல அவர் நல்ல அழகான தமிழ்ல உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் கொடுக்க முடியும், எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுக்க முடியும். அப்படி ஒரு ரிசர்ச் பர்சனை தான் நாங்கள் கொண்டு வந்திருக்கோம் டு ரீச் ஆல்.
நானும் தூத்துக்குடி தாங்க.
ஸோ நவ் டு மிஸ்டர் பிஷன் லால் ஷா. Sir, can you unmute yourself, Mr. Bishan Lal? Sir, you can ask your question. I think there is some connectivity problem in this side. May I ask Saro Vincent? Saro Vincent, can you unmute yourself? Sarah Vincent. She's raising her hand, but I doubt what's the problem there. Miss Anju Shaji. Miss Anju Shaji.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. You could post your question. Yeah.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
Hi, Ms. Anju.
I'm a trainee social worker student studying at Kerala. So my doubt is, after completing this course, I wish to study at Canada for my further studies. So, and also I would like to work there. So what are the things I need to do for doing that?
Okay, so you said you are bachelor's of social work. Is that what you meant?
No, sir. Master of social work.
Master of social work, and you want to do your PhD there in Canada?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So definitely, like I would encourage you to like look into doing a specialization in HR because people with MSW as their post graduation degree have got on to like become HR associates, HR manager. So I would definitely like advise you to do a post graduate. I mean, a PhD or the next degree in HR management or human resource analytics or similar. If you're interested in pursuing a HR career. Because I know the skills that you have that you would have already learned and understood through the MSW program would be very applicable as an HR. So, and with regards to the process, as I mentioned earlier, you have to like choose the right college for that based on the degree that you're choosing. You can continue to do your PhD in social works and then start working towards nonprofits, and also make sure to have a specificity in what kind of in what kind of industry, or because there are nonprofits in every industry, right? Whether you want to be a social worker and fighting for injustice against women or injustice against different races, whether you want to be part of environmental justice, or whether you want to be responsible for corporate sustainability, or whether you want to be responsible for people management, so human rights, all this goes into play as an HR. As an HR, you will be given a broader scope or a bigger responsibility in a company. So, which is why I suggested HR management. But if you are interested more in working for a nonprofit, then I would definitely advise you to pick a specificity and work on like projects related to that, related to either environmental justice or climate justice. There are like a lot of social work going on in Canada itself. So, especially Canada is a country which is trying to go all clean energy and coming away from coal. So environmental and climate justice can get you careers like policy analyst or research analyst positions in such environmental oriented companies. So definitely do your research on which industry or which particular injustice you want to work against. So I would definitely advise you to do that research and then choose your degree based on your industry that you want to outshine in.
Thank you, Aldrich. May I request Ms. Kyle Viri to post her question now? Ms. Kyle Viri, kindly unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Happy afternoon.
Yeah, happy
and,
afternoon.
Nice connecting you. I'm sorry, but I have joined late, and but I just came to the last portion of Mr. Aldrich, and I was just listening. Actually,
Okay.
I am the head of the institution of CBSE school at Perambalur.
Okay.
And may I pose my question to Mr. Aldrich?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Hello, Aldrich. How are you?
Hi, Ms. Kylvili. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Fine. தூத்துக்குடினானே கொஞ்சம் பயம் வருது எங்களுக்கு அவ்வளவுதான் வேற ஒண்ணு இப்ப ரீசெண்டா நடக்கிறதுனால okay one second I don't want to steal much of your time. I'm principal of an institution. Some of my students they had asked me.
Hello.
Kylvili ma'am.
Degree. Is there any way for me to go to abroad? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question, ma'am. Sorry. Can you please?
No. After UG, I mean the degree that the children have completed. So some of the students would like to go abroad.
Okay, ma'am.
So for their work or for their higher studies and everything, what sort of advice? I mean, during this quarantine or what, the whole world is locked down and everything. Is it advisable for the students to pursue further?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I would advise them to wait until December before they make their choice, because universities are still accepting applications and they are still giving out their decisions. But then what they are trying to do is that they are going to make the first semester online, which is not advisable, which is not what we want, right? We don't want to sit in India and study online from a different university. So I would advise them to wait until December, see how the trend goes, whether they are accepting people into the country and whether they are hosting in-person sessions. So that would definitely be my advice. And with regards to the country, if they want to do it immediately without taking a break, and whoever want to like get into the fall semester, I would definitely ask them to take a look at Canada, because they are very less impacted through COVID, and also they don't have any restrictions on immigrant visa. They are all good for now. So I would definitely advise them to take a look at Canada. Then Canada is my recommendation right now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Albert.
Sure.
It's another question from YouTube. How to get job in Kuwait as engineering students?
That's a nice question that I haven't tried, but I know you can get jobs in Kuwait through contacts. So again, there comes a very good use for LinkedIn. So you can reach out to people, or if you have a family member in Kuwait or Dubai, in the UAE countries, I'm pretty sure that they can help you in getting job there easily, because recruiters receive thousands of applications for the jobs which they post. So they won't be reviewing every single application in order to filter their candidates. They will definitely ask their colleagues or their family members, if they know anyone, they can suggest early so that they can save some time and they can find the right person. So definitely reach out to recruiters, reach out to your industry mentors, or reach out to people who are already in the particular country or in the particular state that you want to work in. If you use LinkedIn effectively, I would definitely say you can definitely get into Kuwait or any other country in UAE.
Thank you, Alrich. There are questions flushing in. Can I ask some more questions?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Actually, Mr. Rutuja Diradev from YouTube has asked a question. Which are the professional websites for certificates which highlights our resume when we go for a job?
Okay, sure. That's a nice question. So definitely courses from Udemy, Coursera, edX, they don't go unvalid. But there are also some professional organizations which give you certifications. For instance, the Chartered Finance Institute, they give you they give you a certification for chartered finance analyst, which is very good certification for people who want to pursue a career in finance. So there are also some certifications like the professional engineer or the fundamentals of engineer for entry level students. And also there are other certifications in project management. The PMP, the professional project management, is a very good certification that you can get. So the Project Management Institute gives those certifications. So you have to identify based on your career if there are any professional organizations, and if those professional organizations give you a certification. So those certifications are much more valid because you can add it as a degree, like a like you treat your undergraduate and a master's program, you can treat those certifications behind your name. So look for professional certifications from such reputed institutes. If you could tell me which industry or which company, I mean, like which industry you belong to or wishing to excel in, I could recommend if I knew. So for instance, the chartered accountant is a certification CA. The accountancy students they pursue. So similarly, there are the chartered management accountant, the cost management accountant. So that is CMA certification. All those are valuable, and each one has its own significant value to it. So definitely you should see based on your career interest, see whether that particular there are professional organizations which can give you such certifications.
Thank you, Alrich. Now another question from Mr. Bharati Raja, a YouTube viewer. Do you think that our Indian education system needs changes for career-oriented things, especially abroad?
Definitely, this is my favorite debate question because when I came to USA, that was an enlightening opportunity for me, because their syllabus was updated on a regular basis. So I had a professor who wanted to get this concept into our head before he wanted to move to the next syllabus. But when I did my undergraduate year, I'm not saying it's bad, but they had to do it in India. So they had to finish up the syllabus so that we can enter the common exam. So based on my opinion, I think having a common exam in like 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th is not necessary, and also a common exam, standardized syllabus is not necessary. All that is important is to make sure that the student understands a concept. Even if it is a single concept, the student should be able to understand it. So that is what I'm expecting our education system should change. And also one more interesting thing is that not interesting, it's a bad thing actually, because when I used to study my 11th and 12th, my dad studied the same portion when he was studying 11th, 12th, and he was teaching me all those. So our syllabus should have the basics, and it should constantly be updated, because you see, like when students study complete high school in USA, they have so much of technical knowledge and so much of practical knowledge also. They know all the softwares, all the coding softwares, MATLAB, Python, all those come inside their curriculum. They don't need another degree in order to start working in a company. So that is really amazing in foreign education. So I hope I hope our education system changes pretty soon, hopefully.
I think Corona has made it that way without exams.
Yeah, that is true.
So maybe
Yeah, now everyone are doing courses online, and yeah, they're making use of time.
Okay, thank you, Alrich. May I request Ms. Rohini Kumar to unmute? Ms. Rohini Kumar Badani. You have raised your hand. I don't know what went wrong there. Aldrich has another question from YouTube. I think with this we'll wind off the session. Can we get job in UAE after MA Sociology and MA Psychology as counselors?
So again, I'm not very sure about MA Sociology, because most of the people and most of my friends who did engineering along with me in my undergrad, they went on to UAE to work in oil rigs and all that. So I'm not like 100% sure about UAE accepting counselors from India. Maybe I can double check and get back on that particular thing. Yeah.
Thank you, Aldrich. We are having so many questions here, but I think it will take the whole day for you to complete. It's almost
they can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn if they have any questions. So
it's almost
I'm always
midnight.
open for.
It's almost midnight for you, right?
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
We'll wind up with this question answer session, and may I hand over the platform to Mr. Sri Shakti Prem.
I would like to take this juncture to tell you the fact that the entire webinar has attained its true purpose, in the sense that many of you have come up with your queries, that shows your enthusiasm and your interest in all this. And I think Mr. Aldrich would have had a great time in answering all those questions.
Yeah.
And we really thank you, sir, for giving us so much insight and information in all this. And I would like to ask Mr. Aldrich, sir, having witnessed so many interested people in Zoom as well as YouTube, how do you feel about our interest, or the people's interest in moving abroad and pursuing their dream?
Yeah, it is really nice to see that so many people are interested in wanting to study and work abroad. But definitely there are challenges to it, because there's a proverb, right, from Akkare ki Ikkare Pachare. So there are many challenges to the brighter side of the world also. So, but yeah, we should never lose hope even through the small challenges. I would definitely encourage everyone to pursue their dreams of studying and working abroad, and definitely when all that makes fruitful is that when you can contribute back to our own country. So that is where our purpose as a Indian citizen lies. And gain all the knowledge, bring it back to our country. We should also experience and develop our country too. So yeah.
Great, sir. Ending it with the profound set of words of wisdom. And now, coming to the end of the show, I know this is a pretty sad occasion for you all. I think many of you would prefer continuing the session and having a delightful conversation with our chief guest. But the fact of the matter is, we are coming to an end. And I would like to offer the chair to Dr. Sendil, the IQAC, the placement officer of Kamaraj College, Thoothukudi, to give us the word of thanks.
Okay, ma'am. Very comfortable. Okay. Good morning, all of you. A warm and a graceful morning to our most valuable, honorable chief guest, Mr. Aldridge Rival Raj, and everyone gathered here. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks speech. I extend my sincere thanks to the Almighty for making today's event a resounding success. I thank our respected management and respected principal who encouraged and supported to conduct this event on behalf of our college. I I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. R. Aldridge Rival Raj, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace this occasion. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown a new path, sir. Thank you so much. I am immensely thankful to Dr. J. Pungudi, madam, convener and IQC coordinator of Kamaraj College, convener of this event, and Dr. A.M. Tony Melvin, sir, director, self-finance courses, Kamaraj College, and Dr. P. Sashikala, assistant professor, Department of English, and Mr. S. Sri Shakti Prem and Madan, and our college office superintendent, Mr. P. Saravanan, and office staff members for their efforts taken to make this event a grand success. I also extend thanks to all the staff members for their enormous cooperation for conduct this event successfully. Thank you all participants for your support and patient listening. Thank you for the speaker also. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aldridge.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah.
When you are coming to Thuthukudi, please try to visit to our college.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for the opportunity, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dear participants, I would like to bring it to your notice that the session is over, and if you have got your feedback link from the chat box, you could end the meeting. Again, notice to the participants, if you had received your feedback link from the chat box, you could leave the meeting. Thank you for your presence. The feedback link is found in the chat box. Kindly retrieve it. Those who have not retrieved your feedback links, please check your chat box. The link is forwarded there. This Zoom meeting will close in exactly 6 minutes. Those who have not retrieved your feedback links, please check your chat box. This is the final announcement of the day. Those who have not retrieved your feedback links, please check your chat box. The meeting will come to a close in exactly 4 minutes.